Study Dojo. How to change your life through studying. Summary of 9 key points. 1. Setting goals for those unmotivated to study. Happiness requires goal setting, and studying is no exception. Feeling lost, anxious, or stagnant? Clear goals eliminate these feelings. Happiness studies suggest even having goals increases happiness. You need 3 types: long-term, mid-term, and short-term. For example, if your long-term goal is studying abroad, your mid-term goal might be a target score on your next test, and your short-term goal could be mastering today's assignment. The long-term goal drives the rest. Since good goal setting often requires guidance, aim for reachable with effort when setting your own. Your crucial long-term goal must be something you truly desire. If you don't have one, consider what you enjoy. List current and childhood passions to find common threads. What you excel at. Ask close friends, as you might not recognize your own strengths. How you can help others. Connect your skills with societal needs to find a fulfilling career. By honing skills through study and applying them to help others, work will naturally follow. The best teachers aren't necessarily the most academically accomplished, but those who've overcome academic struggles themselves. The key to goal setting is a burning desire. Students with concrete goals like meeting a pop idol, living Japan, or meeting a YouTuber often succeed. Focus on tangible desires like eating high-end sushi daily rather than wanting money. Leveling up your skills and finding ways to contribute to society pave the path to success. 2. Study methods that yield results. Personality-based, ineffective studying stems from using the wrong methods. Even memorization has 3 main types. The right method multiplies your efforts. Struggling with memorization, seeing little progress, or lagging behind peers despite studying more? It's easy to feel inadequate, but most people aren't naturally good at memorizing. The Ebbinghaus forgetting curve shows forgetting 74 of learned information within a day is normal. Therefore, leverage your brain's unique characteristics. How do you remember your phone's passcode? Aloud by writing or through finger movements? Students generally fall into auditory 60%, visual 20%, and kinesthetic 20% learners. Japanese education often favors auditory learners. Regardless of your type, repetition is key. A recommended approach is 100 repetitions on day 1, then until mastery for 5 consecutive days. Auditory learners repeat 100 times quickly. Visual learners use flashcards, cycling through them rapidly. Kinesthetic learners write in the air quickly. Skip testing on day 1 to familiarize your brain. From day 2, test yourself, remove mastered items, and write remaining ones 10 times each. Test frequently to save writing time. Continue testing from day 3, writing 10 times if forgotten, and resorting to 100 repetitions aloud if necessary. By this point, memorization speeds up, leading to complete mastery by day 5. Difficult material might require thousands of repetitions. The goal is minimizing time, maximizing efficiency, and reducing mental strain. Rapid repetition and frequent testing build confidence. Make press-study memorization warm-ups a habit. Start studying with memorization to activate your brain. Prepare for the next day's memorization before sleep. For truly challenging material, create a words I can't remember list. Cheat sheet and use it until right before the test. Discard it before the test starts and rewrite it on the back of the test paper. Looking at it during the test is cheating, but writing it from memory is allowed. This method propelled a struggling student M to the top of his science class. Though suspected of cheating, he hadn't. He subsequently developed a genuine interest in science, actively participating in class. While unconventional, this method can be a starting point. However, it's insufficient for application-based exams like entrance exams. Prioritize scores initially, as high scores build confidence. Persistence reveals the path to success. Believe that enough repetitions guarantee mastery, and aim for 1,000 repetitions per that year. There are no shortcuts in studying, but there are easier and faster routes. 4 reasons for struggling with studies. Struggles with studies often boil down to illness, learning disabilities or common ailments, poor gut health, sinusitis, nasopharyngitis, long COVID cavities, periodontal disease, otitis media can hinder concentration. Wrong materials. Using materials above or below your level reduces efficiency. A struggling 8th grader might need to review 7th or even elementary school material. Teaching issues. Academic credentials don't equate to teaching prowess. High achievers might struggle to understand others' difficulties. Experienced teachers are better equipped to address student struggles. Incorrect goal setting. Reward punishment-based goals are counterproductive. Focus on goals that align with your desired future. Failing to address these issues leads to frustration and blame. Both quality and quantity of study matter. Solving numerous related problems is crucial. 4. Study don'ts. The biggest mistake is overexertion. Studying is a marathon, not a sprint. Lifelong learners ultimately succeed. Master the art of studying without burning out. Initial student consultations should focus on their happiest life moment to understand their values and aspirations. While raising scores is the goal, the ultimate aim is helping students achieve their true desires. Students dislike being forced to do what they can't and being scolded without solutions. Simply acknowledging their limitations and refraining from reprimands makes studying less daunting. Struggling students often resort to excuses and blame. However, studying is a personal endeavor. Embrace the mindset of, "I create my own life," and start with a might as well study attitude. Avoid excuses and blame. Studying is your responsibility. Studying what you don't understand. Master the basics before tackling advanced concepts. Review lower grade materials if needed. Learning from highly educated individuals, they might not grasp your struggles. Rereading textbooks from lower grades can be more effective. Highlighting textbooks. Understanding the content is paramount. Annotate in your own words. Taking neat notes. Prioritize comprehension and problem solving over aesthetics. Studying with music lyrics significantly impair learning. Studying while snacking. Excess sugar increases fatigue. Snack during breaks or after study. Studying with friends. Studying requires focus. Socialize during breaks. Starting is the hardest part. Reward yourself after completing a problem. Prepare for the next study session for a smooth start. Consistency trumps intensity. Focus on easing into studying during the first 2 months. Review familiar material, focus on memorization, and avoid shying away from challenges. Consistent effort is key. 5. Studying and illness. Frustration and inability to focus. Irritability and poor concentration during studying might indicate illness. Gut issues, sinusitis, nasopharyngitis, long COVID cavities, periodontal disease, and otitis media can all affect focus. Even seemingly healthy individuals might experience concentration difficulties, poor information retention, etc. Poor health drastically reduces learning efficiency. Sharing daily assignments among the principal, instructors, and students helps prevent curriculum delays. For female students affected by menstrual cycles, learning content and volume should be adjusted in consultation with female instructors. Consult a doctor for persistent runny nose, nasal congestion, dry eyes, eye strain, neck-shoulder stiffness, itchy ears, dark urine, irregular bowel movements, pale complexion, tongue sores, bad breath, or body odor. If advised to wait and see, seek alternative solutions. Prioritize gut health for improved recovery. Most immune cells reside in the gut, and gut bacteria influence mental state. Consume probiotics and chocolate together for mental and physical stability, particularly Lactobacillus casei strain Shirota and chocolate. A high school student, I who experienced fever with every rainfall, successfully navigated rigorous exam preparation and gained university admission thanks to probiotic consumption. Lack of concentration isn't always permanent. Chronic inflammation can impede performance. Prioritize warmth, balanced meals, ventilation, and at least 6 hours of sleep. Health management directly impacts learning efficiency. Irritability and poor concentration often stem from poor gut health. Address this with probiotics and chocolate. 6. Crying due to academic struggles. A principal's task begins with dismantling students' unproductive pride. Students claiming, "I'm amazing when I try," often avoid confronting their academic reality. The principal's role is to present reality and assess current abilities. Administer tests designed to identify weaknesses and don't let students leave until they've given their all. Challenge them with, "Is this your best?" Emphasize that while improving grades is the tutor's job, completing homework is the student's responsibility. Assign only manageable problems as homework, while having students simply check unmanageable ones. Witnessing classmates from the same school improve their grades after joining the tutoring program. Motivate struggling students to finally embrace studying. Drawing upon Daniel Pink's drive and happiness research, fostering motivation relies on goal setting and achievement, not willpower. Long-term goal, a concrete image, like avoiding low-ranking schools. Mid-term goal, target score for the next test. Short-term goal, today's specific objective, like mastering this problem. Daily sense of accomplishment, building confidence through daily successes. Visible success, taking home answer sheets for visualization. Encouragement from others, alleviating anxiety through support. Being observed, creating an environment that discourages avoidance. And a delinquent student unable to even look at textbooks. Gained confidence by learning techniques to solve science problems. Achieving top scores in tests. He then learned the concept of electric current. Results precede understanding. Mintz subsequently excelled academically, progressing to high school, university, and eventually becoming a tutor himself. The first step in studying is expanding the repertoire of problems I can solve. 7. Expanding future options. Limited options trap individuals in undesirable situations. More options equate to greater freedom. Life's problems are solved only through learning solutions and taking action. Giving up perpetuates the problem. While tutoring aims to improve grades, the ultimate goal is empowering students to learn independently. Self-directed learning unlocks further challenges and expands options. Tutoring progresses from being taught reviewing to previewing, reviewing, asking questions. Without a solid foundation by high school entrance exams, students will struggle with advanced problems. Confused students should review basic middle school texts, establishing the cycle of researching unfamiliar problems, returning to basics if needed. Asking questions if still stuck fosters self-directed learning applicable to all life's challenges. I launched this YouTube channel a year ago. Despite lacking prior experience in YouTube or video production, thanks to self-directed learning. The ability to research when unsure expands life's choices. Despite struggling with English, learning basic conversational skills enhanced my enjoyment of overseas travel. Giving up perpetuates the problem. I encourage my students to explore the world. A student who disliked Japan studied English, entered a university with study abroad programs, and eventually studied in the US. She achieved her goal of improving family relationships through education. A student admitted to high school on a baseball scholarship was also encouraged to study to mitigate the risk of career-ending injuries. Despite sustaining an injury, his good grades secured university admission, where he ultimately excelled in college baseball. Having backup plans is crucial, even if dreams don't materialize. 8. Is tutoring necessary? Tutoring sometimes leads to disliking studies, incomprehension, and high costs. A tutor's quality determines the tutoring's effectiveness. Excellent tutors understand each student's dreams, grades, homework, strengths, and weaknesses. They also grasp school curricula, textbooks, tests, and teachers' characteristics. A good tutor's hallmark is a high student count. They exhibit genuine enthusiasm, observing and commenting on student progress, genuinely striving to improve their lives. Choose tutors who focus on students, not systems. Tutoring fees represent the cost of improving grades. In unsafe areas, poor academic performance increases the risk of delinquency. Tutored learning progresses 4 times faster than self-study. Tutoring is essential when time is limited. Longer time frames allow aiming for higher-level schools. A tutor's role sometimes involves pushing students to their limits with demanding workloads. This fosters growth by pushing boundaries. The joy of achievement and the sting of setbacks fuel further development. Few tutors genuinely push students to their limits. This motivated the creation of this YouTube channel. 9 study methods to absolutely avoid. Let's examine ineffective strategies. Buying numerous textbooks, master basic texts through repeated practice until solutions become automatic. Aim for at least 5 repetitions before tackling advanced problems. Keeping your smartphone nearby eliminate distractions by turning it off and storing it away. Listening to music while studying severely hampers memorization. Avoid lyrical music. Use classical music, noise-cancelling headphones, or earplugs. Snacking while studying excess sugar increases fatigue. Snack during breaks or after studying. Studying with friends, studying demands focus. Socialize during breaks. Studying without goals define your purpose and scope. Aiming for 5 repetitions of a textbook can be a good goal. Skip difficult problems initially and focus on repetitive practice. Maximize your results by avoiding ineffective efforts and embracing effective learning strategies. See you next video.